Hi, welcome to Rose Opal Knits, our knitting and other crafts podcast.
This is episode 50, and I'm Daphne.
And I'm Erica. She's my daughter-in-law, and I'm her mother-in-law. So hey, hello, welcome. If you're new, we hope you stick around and you like what you see, and you consider subscribing. And if you're returning, we appreciate you so much. This is episode 50. We can't believe we're even here.
We kind of forgot
where
we were on it.
Things have been crazy, and we're coming up on our 2-year anniversary at the end of the month, December 31st. I think when we're
that was when we recorded it, or is that when we put it up?
I don't remember.
Something like that.
That marks 2 years for us, and we've just we're almost at 800 subscribers. I think we're like two away. And I can't even begin to describe everything that's happened and how blessed we've been by this community. And I think our camera's crooked. Does it look tilted?
Is it crooked?
I think it's crooked. I think it's okay though, because we're gonna go with it. But
we don't have time to fix it today, so it's gonna be how it is.
Well,
today.
It's gonna be. I don't know how long it's gonna be. I've got my remote in my hand. It's not leaving my hand because I'll probably have to stop and start quite a few times. But usually we jump right into the crafty goodness. But I think this time we're going to talk a little bit in the beginning. And just because some of you are here for the talking and the crafting, and we appreciate that. And I'm a talker, so
I'm not so much.
Our last episode 49, I wrote down dates just so I could keep track, was recorded on November 29th and uploaded on November 30th. And in the beginning of that episode, we had talked about how our household had caught a cold, and we were all feeling a little under the weather to varying degrees. Well, the symptoms for that started actually on November 27th, and by December 2nd, we knew it was COVID. And everyone in the house was affected by it to different degrees. Most of the family. Okay, so we're a multi-generational household, if you're new here. My husband
live here.
and I have been together, married for 25 years, and we have 4 children, 25, 18, 13, and 5. And then our oldest is married to Daphne, and they have 3 children.
Yep.
Almost 3, 1.5, and
5 months.
5 months.
5 months on the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
So Christmas Eve.
Yes. And so both families live in this house. And so the entire house was impacted, and like I said, to varying degrees. Most people suffered what seemed like a severe cold, and a severe cold with a stomach bug. But my husband and I were more severely impacted. And on December 7th, I was admitted to the hospital. I was having trouble breathing, keeping my oxygen level where it was supposed to be. And I spent 5 days, not 5 full days, but 5 days in the hospital. So I was admitted on December 7th. And then my husband was admitted to the hospital on December 10th. And I came home in the afternoon on December 11th. So for everyone who are naysayers about multi-generational households, they can be a true blessing, because since my husband and I have younger children still at home, we were able to both be in the hospital at the same time and know that Holden and Daphne, who were better by that point.
I didn't really get sick too bad, actually.
No, Daphne was probably the most mild, right?
I only had a headache for 2 days, but it was a pretty bad headache, but Tylenol cleared it for me, and then I had a sore throat for 1 day.
You had a mild cough.
I had a cough for a couple days, but that one didn't really bother me because it was just a little bit of a dry cough every now and then. And if I talked too long, I would start coughing a little bit. But that was it.
She said she was fine at one point, and I could tell she wasn't fine yet, but she felt better than everyone.
I felt fine pretty much the whole time. There's just a little thing every day, but altogether, it was probably only 4 days that I didn't feel the best.
And, but, but everyone's better now. I still am... Oh, I dropped it. I said I wasn't going to drop it.
I left her hand, you guys.
But so I still do have some lingering symptoms, but I feel so much better than I did. And my husband is still in the hospital, but today is a good day because it's a good day for many reasons. But the main one is because we just found out that he should be home this afternoon, hopefully by dinner time.
I told you by Thursday at the latest.
She's been
Monday.
saying, yeah, and it's Monday, so. But so it's a really good day. He will have to come home on oxygen. I had to come home on oxygen, but I was only on it for 2 days once I got home. But he will have to. But
he's coming home.
Yep,
that's all
he's
that
coming
matters.
home. We are very
for
blessed
Christmas and everything.
And yep, it's good. But that's why we are a week late recording. Yeah. If you follow us on Instagram, we did post that we were taking some time off for health. And or if you were in our Facebook group, you've got more of the story there. But we may have to stop and start this a lot. I don't know. But I wanted to say personally for all of you that knew what was going on and were praying for us and sending us, warm thoughts. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm going to cry. Anyway, so... We have there was quite a long time for me that I didn't do any knitting or crafting, but then once I got home, I had been home a couple days, and I started feeling better. That my knitting is what really has helped me. So we do have knitting to show, and we are going to finally 7 minutes into this get into that. But all right, so we'll start with finished objects.
You're wearing something and then finished object.
Oh, you're wearing something too.
Yeah, I know, but mine's a finished object.
Oh,
so you gotta talk first.
So I am wearing my Hyla, and I forget who the designer is, but it will be on the screen. And I knit this within the last couple years out of Barocco Ultra DK wool. I think it's DK, but so that's just a cable sweater. And that's it. All right.
Okay, mine is the Soldatna by Caitlin Hunter, and I'm not going to stand up to show you this, but I was at the bottom ribbing of it, so the body is fully done, and then I had to do the sleeves. So the sleeves are done, and I did do balloon sleeves, like I said, because I wanted it done by Christmas, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be, but then the sleeves only took like a day each, so it went by really quick, but it is on a US 10, I think. Yeah, this was done on a US 10, and then the ribbing was done on a US 9. So I did this in Hobby Lobby's Yarn V 44th Street, and the colors were ivory, ruby, olive, and pale aqua. So, and I stole the color combination from Tara of
A Loop Through a Loop.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, and we do have show notes in the description box below, and if we ever leave anything off, feel free to comment and ask us, or send us an email and ask us. I also want to say, I was thinking about it while you were talking. Oh, are you done talking about this?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, so while we're talking about what we're wearing, I feel like I should say this because it was asked in the comment section of the last video, and in case you were wondering, my headband. It's called a Zazzy band, and you can, I think it's zazzyband.com, and it's meant to mimic the look of sunglasses, like how people pull their sunglasses up on their head, and that's the whole idea. So you would put it on like you were wearing glasses, and just skirt. So there we go. You asked, now you know.
I knew this the entire time, and during like the warmer seasons, I always put my sunglasses on the top of my head. I don't ever wear my sunglasses. I just put them on top of my head
Well,
That's it. I don't wear them.
Well,
I don't use
I
them.
wear glasses, so I don't usually wear sunglasses, so they don't go on the top of my head. But I do know that people love wearing their
I
sunglasses.
love my sunglasses on the top of my head.
Sassy Van.
And I never thought to buy one for myself. She's had it for over a month.
Okay. So now let's talk about finished objects. Oh, well, you talked about finished objects. Okay, you have a lot. I have one.
Yeah, I have a lot.
Hold on. I need to take a break. Okay, back to finished objects. So I just talk about mine and then you can just talk about all of yours?
Sure.
All right. I have a completed pair of socks. So the last time I showed these, I had two going. This one was up here and this one was right here. So I knit these for a friend. And I used fingering weight held double. This is an undyed skein of yarn. And then this bright color is Lollipop, and it's by Willow Tree Yarns. And we've showed that several times on the podcast through the last year, right?
Yep.
Okay. And I cast it on and knitted, I think it was 2 rounds in ribbing and then 1 round plain. Maybe?
I think that's what you said last time.
Yeah, and then I attached the undyed and jumped back into the ribbing maybe. And then I wrote up a chart for like this knit purl diamond. Let me just take this off. On the front of the sock. And I was just going to do that down the entire front of the foot. And then when I got home, I just wanted easy knitting. And I thought, well, there's 1 diamond and that's all there's going to be is 1 diamond. But I do still have the chart for that and I plan on trying it on another pair of socks. But so these are shorties. Someone calling us?
I think Holden might be calling me. Hold on. Oh, you can keep talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, and then I knit a slip stitch heel flap and then did the turn and then the gusset. And then for the toe, I did a star toe and I striped the undyed and the lollipop yarn until the tip. And then I just did the lollipop yarn and I kitch turned the tip of the toe. So this is our DK weight recipe, basically. That's on roseopalknits.com on the blog. I just shortened the leg of the foot. And since I was using fingering weight held double and my gauge is changing some with that, I went up to a US 4. Now I kind of regret it. I mean, I hope they're not too wide for my friend, but I don't know. I love the gauge I got, but I don't know if it'll make them too big for her or not. I usually use a US 3. But anyway, so there they are. Finished pair. Ow. Didn't really hurt because it hit my glasses, but all right, that's it. That's all I got finished.
You know what I just realized?
What?
Paisley's just in the washer.
Oh man, that's so cute. You go grab it.
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to start with non-Christmas stuff first. There's only one thing. So, I finished my Rose Opal socks. So, I don't know where I was last time. Hold on, I just ran up and down the stairs. Okay, anyway, so these are the Rose Opal sock set from Sweet Mountain Crafts.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is it. So, this main color is the Rose Opal, and then the yellow is supposed to be, like, my color, and then orange is hers, basically, because those are our favorite colors. So, these are just vanilla socks, and I used a US 2 because her fingering weight is a little bit more plump, which I actually like.
I like it too, yeah.
And I cast it on...
It's scree sock, right? Is that what it's
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I think I cast it on 60 for these.
You see what the...
It's my sock blockers.
Yeah, it hates the blue.
But yeah, so these are them. And I have a whole bunch of the yarn left.
And while we're talking about this, we are hosting a year-long knit-along, crochet-along, make-along in our Facebook group, Rose Opal Knits Facebook group. with the yarns from the sock set. So you use this main color or either of the contrast colors. You can enter your finished object into the thread, and we will be pulling prizes throughout the year. So it started on December 1st, and it will start on December 1st, 2021, and it will end the last day of November 2022.
Is her tag, just so you know. There you go.
And that's Carista.
Yep.
And the information for the sock set and Carista's website and her podcast, because she's on YouTube as well, will all be in the description box below.
Okay, but yeah, so just normal vanilla. So it's 1x1 rib, slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset, and then wedge toe for me. Just so you know. But yeah, so that's it.
Wait, what bag was it in?
Mountain State Stitches.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying not to mess up the names this time.
Well,
okay?
we were at the beginning of everything last episode.
Man, that one was a hot mess. Alright, so now Christmassy stuff. I am feeling the Christmas mood this year. Normally, I'm not the biggest. I like Christmas, but I'm not like Christmas crazy. But this year I was. Okay, like even nails done, everything. Okay.
Yeah, I did my nails last night sitting on my couch.
When
I don't
are you
usually
feeling?
do my
Like,
nails.
look at that one. I already do them. But anyways, so for Paisley, she got a little dress, and this is I actually used the little tune pattern by the Blue Mouse, for the cast on amount, the short rows, and then halfway through the raglan. But then after that, it started getting too big because her patterns actually called for DK weight, and I used worsted weight Lions brand wool leaves for this in the forest color and then cranberry color. And so I did the same thing I did when I modified the flax yellow dress for Halloween. So it has the garter here and then around the waist and then just knit straight. And then this is actually the raspberry stitch or blackberry stitch or Trinity stitch at the bottom. And it was knit on a US 10 and a US 9 for every like garter borders and everything. So she loves it. She looks really cute in too.
Mm-hmm. She does.
So that's Baby Christmas knit 1. And then 2 and 3 are the same. They're little Santa hats for Mason and Theo. And I'm going to hold up Theo's.
I'll hold up Mason's.
Oh, okay. But anyways, so this bottom yarn is, I don't remember the brand, but it's Pipsqueak. I don't remember. It's discontinued. I bought it like the first year I started to knit. So I don't have the tag or anything. So I just know it's called Pipsqueak something. But I can send you the thing to put it on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the reds are all, well, these two are the same Lions brand woolies in the cranberry color. And I just bought pom-pom makers to make the pom-poms. So all I did, so I casted on too many for Mason's, so it's actually a folded brim.
And it flares, it's so
It
cute.
flares, it's so funny.
Uh-huh.
But so I casted on 72 on a US 10. I don't know why I thought that was right. It's not right.
Oh.
That's huge. So that's why I had it
you
folded.
did have a pattern or you didn't have a pattern?
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I looked at one, but then I was like knitting it flat, and I was like, how do you do that? How do you knit a hat
You just
flat?
seam the seam. You'll have a seam like on the back or something.
I didn't do that. I did it in the round, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I cast it on 72, and then I think I knit this for like 4 inches, and then folded it over, and then knit it together, and then knit the red for 3 inches, and then started decreasing. So, and then you just knit for like 4 rows in between each decrease until you get to 8 stitches. So, those are their hats. And then I think I cast it on 48 or 40 for Theo's. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Something, but you can't even count this. It's just fuzzy yarn. So, but they're so cute.
Mm-hmm.
And Mason learned how to say pom-pom.
Yes, he did.
So, and the next ones, they aren't necessarily Christmas looking.
Color themed, yeah.
Yeah, but they are
For Christmas.
for Christmas. They're going in the kids' stocking. So I already showed Paisley's, but the boys also get hats. So these are the DMC Little Toppers. It's the yarn. So you get the yarn, and then you get these little pom-poms. that go on top of them. So they go this way. Paisley's crying. I don't know if you can hear her. Holden's got her. She's okay. Okay. But anyways, so these are the toppers for them. All I have to do is weave in the ends and add these. So, and the gray one's for Theo, and the blue and white one, blue, red, and white is for Mason. And Paisley's is pink with a little cat.
You showed those last time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Episode 49.
Those are done. And then I have a half object, which is also for Christmas.
Hold on 1 second.
Right. So this last one is a Christmas gift for, does he watch it?
No.
Okay, her husband, basically. But, so I'm knitting him a pair of socks, and this is just gray. It's Willow Trees, Fancy DK. So here's her tag. She's on Etsy. It's Willow Tree Fancy DK, which is a 80% superwash merino, 10% nylon, and 10% cashmere. And the colorway is slate. So I am using our DK weight pattern. It is the largest size with a 1x1 rib, heel flap and gusset. Well, slip stitch, heel flap and gusset. And then the rounded toe, but I Kitchenered it.
Yeah, because the round toe is written to just be cinched, but you can always Kitchener it.
Yeah, but I was running out of the amount of yarn I could use for this one sock. So I had to cut it and do the Kitchener.
Look at how cute that little snowman is.
Oh yeah, she actually sent that.
Angela.
Yeah, and this one is so cute. I love it. It's a little reindeer. It's Rudolph. I'm so excited. And it is on a US 3. So.
Have you started the second one yet?
Nope.
No, okay.
I just Kitchenered this.
All right.
They will be done. So.
What bag is it in?
And it is also in a Mountain State Stitches bag. So.
Oh, I forgot to show my bag for my socks were in a Mountain State Stitches bag as well. This bag is several years old though. I don't think she does zippers anymore, does she?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, she only
Every
does.
time I've bought them, it's drawstrings. I haven't seen a zipper one in her shop. But she only has small shop updates, and they sell out very quickly.
Fast, yeah.
So.
Do you have any more finished objects?
That's all my finished
Okay.
objects.
All right. So we will head into.
Oh, I lied. Okay, I was knitting a pair of vanilla socks in the Bella Vista color. I forget the name of the yarn, but I did finish those. But
you didn't.
I didn't want her. I didn't get a picture. I didn't want to wait to give her them anymore because I've had them for a while. So I gave them to her. Well, I made Holden give them to her because it's Holden's
one of his
friend.
co-workers, yeah.
So I did finish those. They were just vanilla DK weight socks, but fingering held double. So
yeah, okay.
They're done. I just don't have a picture or anything.
All right. So now we're gonna go into works in progress. How many do you have? 3. All right. I have
2 of which are the same thing. So I guess only 2, technically.
I think I have 5.
Okay.
I have 5.
Her turn.
All right. So first thing I'll show is my holiday sweater.
I'm going to knit while she talks, so I have a sock here.
And I am knitting I'm not going to pronounce it correctly. It will go across the screen, but I believe it's called Sigrider or something like that, and it is out of this book. And I will show you a quick picture. So there it is. And I have modified mine for 3 colors. The pattern was written, I believe, for 5. Here it is. I've split for the sleeves. So the last time I showed it, I was right here, and I had discussed how I had finished the colorwork chart as it was written, but I added 2 rounds of colorwork because I was switching the main color from the green to the cream. And then once I did that, I split for the sleeves. They're on Chalgu cables waiting to be knit. And knit a couple of inches of the body, and it's going away. So once I realized that I wouldn't have the sweater finished this Christmas, I kind of fell out of love with it. I mean, I love it, but I don't want to knit it right now. So I have made a plan for 2022. and it'll be my Christmas sweater for 2022. And I plan to pull it out every month the week that the 25th falls on, and I will knit it that week and then put it away till the next month until it's done or until it gets closer to Christmas. And then once, it's October, November, if it's not done yet, then I can just finish it so that I'll have it for the Christmas season of 2022. But I am knitting the sweater out of Barocco Ultra Wool DK. And the color numbers and names, I believe, are in the description box. I'm not going to go over them, but I do know that this one is pine. And the red, I think, is sour cherry. But so there are the three colors. And if you've watched this for a while, you know that this is like one of my favorite yarns. I use it a lot. So, and this sweater is being held in a bag by Molly Klein Design. All right. Should I show another one?
Yeah, probably. I mean, like I said, I only have the two, really.
Okay.
Because two of them are the same thing.
All right. So, right at the beginning... Hold on. Okay, so right at the beginning of the illness, I was supposed to go away overnight with three of my oldest girlfriends from school, like not even just high school, like one of my friends I've known since 4th grade. And we get together twice a year to celebrate birthdays, and we do an overnight stay at my sister-in-law's beach house. And that had been scheduled for months, but I told them several days before it was supposed to happen that I wouldn't be able to be there. And so one of my friends said, well, I have something for you, so I'm going to drop it. I'm going to leave it at your front door, and you can grab it. And it was an advent calendar, and it was such a surprise. I think I was able, to open 3 days up before?
Something like that, yeah.
And I quickly realized it was a yarn advent calendar that she had put together for me. So, but then I went into the hospital. I got, it just got bad. And, but when I came home from the hospital, I opened every day.
I think you waited a day or two.
Probably till I was off the oxygen and feeling a little bit better.
I don't think you were. I think you were still sitting in the chair.
Oh, was I? Okay.
Because you weren't moving. So.
This is moving, but not a whole lot.
Well, okay. If you ever had to be on oxygen, you know the struggle of getting up and down and all that stuff. Or when you're sick and you can't really breathe and stuff, you don't want to get up. So it was one of the days where, because I think I brought it to her.
I think I did say, Daphne, can you bring me my advent calendar? But anyway, so she brought it to me and I sat in the recliner and I opened every day. So every day didn't have yarn. I think out of the 25 days, I had 17 mini skeins. And some of them were 10 grams, but most of them were 20 grams. And I wasn't knitting yet. I think I had tried to knit on my sweater a little bit, but it felt so hard. And I kept thinking about all those beautiful little mini skeins. And then I think it was like 2 days later, I decided to buy the habitation? Habitation throw. The habitation throw pattern. And I wound up...
Are you in the middle of a row? It looked like you might be.
I am. Oh, darn. That's okay.
Yeah. It's okay. It doesn't matter.
So I just kept thinking about the mini skeins. And so I ended up winding up 7 of the mini skeins of the 17. So, and casted it on. And the cast on wasn't clicking with my brain. I've done cast on tabs like that before, and I just, for whatever reason, it wasn't clicking with my brain. I knew it was started like a corner to corner dishcloth, so I just did it that way until I got enough stitches where I could then start the I-cord edging. So my tip doesn't look pretty, but I don't care.
It's
because I was knitting it. It was giving me what I needed, and then I ended up doing one row of eyelets and quickly went, my brain can't handle this eyelet row. So I decided to omit the eyelets. And then I just enjoyed the process of knitting it. So this was a 10-gram mini, and then this is 20, 20, 20, and I'm in another 20-gram mini up
Ooh, that
here.
one's so pretty.
And I'm just taking the color, the 7 skeins that I wound, I picked the 7 that were calling to me the most. I didn't try to match them or anything. And then I just picked them up to knit as I felt like I wanted, that as they ended and I wanted to start another one. So this is where I am, and I'm really enjoying it. This is a little progress keeper that was in the advent calendar. But I'm knitting it on a US 6, my Chalgu needles, and I have 2 more mini skeins that are wound in my Ziploc bag. And then
hey, it keeps them all in a little cake and not all over the place.
Yes, exactly.
This is so pretty.
And then here's what I have left to add to the blanket. Oops. So some of them are 10, but most of them are 20. Ooh,
she's dropping them.
But my plan is I'm going to increase through the Advent mini skeins, and then once I complete all the Advent mini skeins, I'm just gonna get full skeins, and I will do the center, which I'm sure is just non-increasing for a certain amount of rows, and then I'll start the decreases. So half of the blanket will be the Advent calendar mini skeins, and the other half will just be all one tonal or speckled color or something. But that's my plan, and I'm not a blanket knitter, but boy, I am loving this right now. So, and it is in my Black Hat bag by Fat Girl Sewing on Etsy. All right, all the rest I have are socks.
Okay,
so.
I'll talk for a minute so you can take a break. All right, so as you know, a lot of little kids. So I made Mason a Santa hat, which means I had to make more Santa hats. So I have more Santa hats, and these are in my Nova Character Crafts bag. But sorry. All right, so this one is for Paisley, and same pipsqueak yarn, but then this one is Plymouth Encore tweed, and this is the leftovers of my Magnolia sweater that I made earlier this year. So that's that one, and I already made the pom-poms. I think they're in here. No, they're not. They're on Holden's desk. But so this is that yarn. And then Mary Rose also needs one. Okay. Which is fine. I don't mind. I'll knit hats. They're quick. So hers, same blue, pipsqueak yarn. And then the red she's using is Yarn Bee 44th Street in the ruby color. These are my leftovers. But I have to hold this double for this one. So, and they're all knit on a US 10. But I forget how much I cast it on. I was like, what was I saying? But yeah, so all US 10s, just same idea, knit like 1.5 inches for the blue ribbing, and then about 3 inches. I think I might have to do 4 for Mary Rose. Maybe not, because Mason's fitter. So 3 will probably be fine. Maybe 2 for Paisley. I don't know. I'm not that far yet. Well, no. Paisley's is done. I'm ready to decrease on Paisley's. So now I have to knit Mary Rose's, and then I'll be ready to decrease. So, but those are my hats right now. Alright, so my last whip is, so I have this one finished. I already showed it finished too. I cast it on the second sock for Holden. These are Holden's Christmas socks. These are also in a Mountain State Stitches bag. And this yarn is, hold on, I don't want to mess up the name. The yarn is from Holly Press Fibers in the Cornish Sleigh Ride. So it is a sock set. And this is how far I am. It is just a 1x1 rib. I'm doing a wide rib. So it's a 7x2. And then heel flap, gusset, and then, yeah, wedge toe. But his get cut short because he has wide feet and his toes are pretty much straight across. instead of like slanted.
So what's up?
It's just, I think I end with like 12 stitches on each needle.
Mm-hmm.
And I use double points when I do the toes and stuff. So, but yeah. And these are, I'm going to try to get these done to put in his stocking without him knowing.
Uh-huh.
So,
yeah.
because he's sensitive sometimes, okay? Sometimes he watches this too, so you might see this. And I don't mean that in a bad way. But sometimes he says stuff, and I'm like, he's so sensitive sometimes. But he's like, my stuff gets sat on back burner. But it's like the one that's turned off, and you're waiting for another burner so you can put it on the burner.
Oh, very descriptive.
But anyway, so I'm going to try to get these done before Christmas and put them in his stocking. But he doesn't know. We found his stocking last night that he's been whining about, saying, I don't want a stocking unless it's this stocking.
See, sensitive.
But so he doesn't know that I actually bought a bunch of stuff to fill it. So it's going to be a surprise. He doesn't know I got it. Okay, so I bought him a Christmas present and I gave it to him because I'm so impatient.
She's just said earlier today, I just want to give everybody their Christmas presents.
I hate waiting. Like, just let me give them to you now. I'm so excited about Christmas this year. I mean, if you can't tell by the yarn choices or anything, feeling the Christmas, okay? So, that's all I got, though.
All right. So then my last whips are all sock whips. There are 3 of them, and I've got all 3 bags in my summer sock camp tote bag. We're not going to start with that one because that's a new one. We'll start with the one you've seen before. So I've been knitting this pair of socks for my father, and it's not finished yet. They're not finished yet, but I am knitting them 2 at a time, and I did manage to get done.
Every time I see this, I get so surprised because I keep forgetting what they look like.
So I'm using Regia Perfect. There's the tag. And I knit, they are shorties. So I cast it on, I believe I cast it on 64 stitches for him. And I knit a long cuff. I think it was like 18 rounds.
Oh gosh.
And then I only knitted 3 or 4 rounds before I started the slip stitch heel flap. And the last time I showed them, okay, so this is hardly any progress, but the last time I showed them, I believe I was at the beginning of the gusset decreases, where those markers are. But I am through the gusset decreases, and now I'm just straight knitting. So the socks should fly. Here's the thing. I hate Regia yarn, or Regia yarn, however you say it. I don't hate it. I love it. I love to wear it. I do not like to knit with it. Especially this, the 4-ply, right, is the fingering, and then the 6-ply is the DK weight, I think. Anyway, but especially the fingering weight, the sock weight.
I thought those were DK.
No, he didn't want DK weight socks. So I don't know. They're not fun. And so I picked them up and I knit like 2 rounds and I put them down. Then the next day I pick them up and I knit 2 rounds and I put them down.
Hey, you'll get them done eventually though.
I will. His birthday's in December. I'm at January.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll get them done and sent to him in January. That would be nice. Because he needs wool socks in Florida. In January. What do I have to say about these? I'm knitting them 2 at a time on 2 circular needles, and I'm using Chalgu US, I believe 1.5.
Mason's laughing downstairs.
I heard him. Well, my old eyes can't see.
Let me look.
I believe they're US 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5, 2.5 millimeter.
Okay. She saw that fast. To be young. No.
For the record, I do have 20/20 vision. I just have an astigmatism.
Oh, okay. So. I didn't know. I'm 45. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be. So there's that. This is just a bag my mother gave me years ago. I think it's like fairy tale.
I like those bags. Mags. That's a word, right?
Yeah. And then, as soon as I finished my friend's socks, I cast on my Christmas socks. And my Christmas sock is living in my Noble Character Crafts bag. Oops, it's got fuzz on it.
Also, when I
Yes.
think I correct that people.
Yeah, we told that story last episode, how I was doing the dishes, and I was like, I want it, maybe, yeah. And then Daphne was like, do you want it or not?
I should have just bought it and given it to her for Christmas. That would have been a great plan, but I didn't think about that, so it's okay.
So this is the yarn I'm using. This is a DK weight yarn that I dyed the day that Daphne and I had our dye day. And
We named it Christmas ribbons,
Christmas ribbons.
like the candies.
Mm-hmm. Like the old-fashioned Christmas candies. And I am, it's DK weight, so I'm using our DK weight recipe. So I cast on 48 stitches on a US 3, and I knit 2x2 ribbing for 12 or 14 rounds. I have it written down. And then I decided to purl 2 rounds after the ribbing, and then I'm just putting a little pearl twisted knit stitch detail on the front there. But once I got into it, I was like, oh, I should have done the ribbing different so that it matched up, but that's fine. I don't really care. But so anyway, I'm having fun knitting these. And in this bag, now I can put this on the sock, but Angela of Willow Tree Yarn sent me little Christmas marker too. So it's waiting to go onto the sock. Isn't that cute? And then I also thought, Chris is in the hospital, and I thought he needed a new pair of socks too. So this is a new purchase also. A couple weeks ago, I ordered some yarn for him to knit him socks because he was saying he'd like to have more. And so I ordered 2 balls of this Patton's Croy in the midnight colors. Is it upside down? No, I don't know. No. Okay. Yep. So midnight colors. And then I also ordered. Oh, that one doesn't have the label. Get the one with the label. No, that one doesn't have a label either.
That's a Patton's Croy too?
No.
Oh.
It just must have fallen off. Yeah, it fell off. So, and then I ordered 2 balls of this opal in just a dark gray color. Yeah, I don't know. But, so, I'm holding 1 strand of the Patton's Croy with 1 strand of the opal to get like a worsted weight sock. My husband likes thick socks. Like, he doesn't want anything thinner than DK weight, and I actually think he's really going to like the thickness of these. So that opal and the Patton's Croy are technically supposed to be fingering weight or sock weight yarn. I don't think that Patton's Croy is like a true sock weight. Croy. I love it too, but I think it's more like a sport weight. It's plumper, it's thicker, and it knits up thicker. So like I said, 1 strand of the Patton's Croy and then 1 strand of the opal together. So I cast it on 52 stitches, and I'm using a US 4 for him because when I knit him DK weight socks, I usually cast on 56. But because I went up to a US 4, I decided to go down to 52 stitches. And I knit a 1x1 rib for 10 rounds. And then on the front of the sock, I switched to knit 3. And then I continued the 1x1 rib, and then I think I have knit 2 on this end. And then the back is just stockinette because he likes a rib sock, but I did not feel like ribbing the whole leg of the foot. And I plan on making these taller because he said his legs get cold.
I made them as tall as I can, and I almost ran out of yarn.
Yeah, so I'm going to make these taller since I have 2 full balls of the Patton's Croy and the opal. And if I run out of the Patton's Croy, I probably won't, but if I did, I would just double the opal for the bottom of the sock. But anyway, so I didn't want to do a full ribbed leg. So I'm just doing 1 by 1 rib along the front of the foot. So, but that's as far as I've gotten. And it's so funny that I don't like to knit with the Regia or the Regia yarn, but I don't mind knitting with Patton's Croy. And they're both kind of, like sturdy.
But Regia is thinner.
It is.
It's so much thinner. If you held them up next to each other, I'm pretty sure you could tell a difference. Like, you could see it.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I think that's a big thing with it.
But this is his sock. I'm just put in a bag by Molly Klein Design. I had that was empty. So, there's that. All right, so that is the end of what we've been working on, but we do have some acquisitions and some Happy Mail that we received.
Today.
Yeah, just it all.
Most of it came
today. Yep. So all right, let me start. I have one purchase. So I ordered from 3 by the Sea holiday progress keepers. So 2 slices of cake and 2 cupcakes. And so 1 cake for me, 1 cupcake for me, 1 cake for Daphne, 1 cupcake for Daphne. But aren't they super cute? They just arrived today. All right, so that was my purchase. So do you want to show your purchases and then we'll talk about our Happy Mail?
Yeah. So I ordered the Willow Tree yarn that I already showed. I couldn't wait to show it on here. I had to start it to make sure they're done in time. And I was like, I gotta make sure he doesn't see me knitting them. He doesn't question me.
No.
He doesn't ask what I'm knitting, He's not gonna pay attention to it at all. So I can knit it in front of him all I want. So I bought that. That came Saturday. So yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I only brought 1 skein of this stuff. Yeah, so I bought this from Hobby. It is their Alpaca Blaze, which is a 40% acrylic, 40% alpaca, and 30% alpaca and 30% polyamide. So, and it is the mahogany colorway. I forgot. It's number 12. Yeah, it's Hobby, just
HOBBII.
Yep, they're based in Denmark. So it takes a little bit to get to the United States, but I didn't even ever show it. I bought mohair a couple weeks ago, like a month ago maybe, and it came. And then I thought about it, and I want to knit Augustine. She's on YouTube. It's Augustine's DK on Instagram, but I'll send it to you if you want to put it on there. But she has a dress pattern. It is so pretty, and I want to knit it. And I have all this Lions Brand woolies in the umber colorway. So
is that why you bought that?
To
pair
with it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pair this with it to knit that, and I am so excited. But it's gonna have to wait a little bit because I have other plans. So I also ordered from Lovecraft. This one is Barocco Vintage DK, and it is. Does it tell me the colorway? No, it doesn't. It just tells me the color number, which is 2103. And it is 52% acrylic, 40% wool, and 8% nylon. And I'm going to knit the bean and olive sweater with this. Paired with, for the color work, it's going to be one of the yarns we dyed, actually.
Oh, okay.
So, it's going to be, which one? Lichen.
Okay.
I'll show you eventually when I start it. I plan on casting this on New Year's. So it can be my Valentine's Day sweater. Okay. Right. So, yeah.
All right, that's fun.
Yep.
Are those just your purchases?
Yeah, those are my purchases. I'm waiting on a bag that I bought too, but it's not here. So I'll show it next time when it gets here.
So then in the mail, we had two Happy Mails. So my friend Tracy of Grizzly Knit, she sent this little card and said she just wanted to send a little something, and she hoped we had a happy holiday. So thank you so much, Tracy. And she has a shop. If you haven't watched her podcast, you need to watch her podcast. But she also has a shop where she sells these beautiful stitch markers and progress keepers.
Her shop is temporarily closed right now.
Due to illness,
yes.
Yeah. So, but it'll be open, and
it'll be open soon, I'm sure.
Because these stitch markers and progress keepers are so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're such
Tracy.
good quality, though, too.
Yes,
they're so nice.
Give me this little bag with a heart.
Her
on
packing
it.
is so cute, too.
So that was one piece of happy mail we received, and then
this one has a little bit of crinkling. Just fair warning.
So we have been blessed in this community to know Susan, Delightful Works. We've Zoomed with her a couple times, and she test knit my hat pattern for me, and she is a bag maker. Mm-hmm. And she doesn't have a shop on Etsy or a website, but she does sell her bags.
On Instagram. So you just have to message her, basically.
Yes, she wrote it in here. Mm-hmm. So she says, I don't have an Etsy shop, but I do sell my bags occasionally, just via messages on Instagram. I'd like to offer free shipping, no expiration date, to any of your viewers. They just need to contact me on Instagram and mention your podcast. Thank you, Susan. So like I said, she is at Delightful Works. I'll put it across the screen, and I will also put the information in the description box below. But she sent us a giveaway item. So for one of our knit-alongs. Yeah. So she sent a giveaway item for one of our knit-alongs or make-alongs, and she sent each of us a gift. So thank you so much, Susan.
Here. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. So there's this one. It's like holly and pine cones and stuff.
Beautiful drawstring bag.
They're so pretty.
Uh-huh.
And then there's this one. It says Noel, ho ho ho, merry, be merry, joy, peace, just like Christmassy stuff. Snow.
Mm-hmm.
And then this blue one. Kind of looks like fireworks.
So, I think it makes me think of the New Year.
Mm-hmm. That was really pretty.
New Year celebration. Yeah.
They're all really pretty.
Mm-hmm. So I think we've decided that this will be one of the giveaway.
I'll hold it so you don't have to hold all of
it. The light's changing, but yeah, that one's gonna be.
Go.
We're each gonna pick a holiday bag, but this one's gonna be a giveaway. So stay tuned to find out. We don't know yet. We don't know which make along or whatever we're giving it away from, but we will see it again.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah, that's all we have right now.
So thank you so much. Like I said, information in the description box below. If you have any questions, please just leave a comment and or send us an email at roseopalknits@gmail.com. You could always not instant message. What's it called? On Instagram, you can direct message us too if you want to do it that way, or in the Facebook group, you can just ask us there. There was something else. Oh, there was a comment, I think, on the last podcast episode that I didn't get a chance to answer, and it was about a gnome bag that I was using to hold my son's hat. That was a gift. It was given to me a couple years ago by my friend Julie, and she bought it from Amazon, and it looks like it's no longer available on Amazon, so I'm sorry I can't send you to a place to get that gnome bag. But so I think that's it.
Yeah.
You have anything else? I didn't even look at the calendar to see when we will be recording again, but it'll be hopefully in 2 weeks. And is that it? If you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Like I said in the beginning, we're so close to 800 subscribers, and we will definitely have a 1,000 subscriber giveaway when and if that ever happens. But we hope, if you celebrate Christmas, we truly hope that you have a happy and blessed and healthy Christmas. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, well, we just hope that you have a happy and healthy December. And at the end of 2021 is good to you. All right. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Take care. Bye.